Hello? Is this thing on? Hello?
Oh, there we are.
Rafi's Rambles, Rafi's Rambles, Rafi's Rambles.
Hola, you amazing artists, and welcome to the gallery. We moved. Yes! I've gotten some questions from you guys asking if we are done with YouTube, if we're no longer doing videos on this channel, because obviously we have the adventure channel and we recorded us buying this house and getting in here. So my answer is no way. We didn't quit YouTube. We moved and we are now getting settled in, and there are repairs that need to get done before the studio goes up, and there's just a lot going on right now. I know that we've been quiet for a couple of months. We moved in only about 30 days ago, and we're basically getting everything set up. Moving into an old home, you're gonna have some stuff that needs to be done. And so like a lot of things that we are waiting to get done are essential for us to run A, our art studio, B, these videos, because we have to get electrical done. This is an old house and it's got old electrical. The main studio is in the basement, and unfortunately there's some asbestos that needs to be removed. So like just things, little things, all the little perks of home ownership, like, you know, a drain that's not draining and having to deal with that. Little by little, we're getting ourselves set up, but you guys, this place is amazing, and I can't wait to give you a tour. We're not ready to give you a tour. I'll give you a quick insight into where we are right now. So the room that I'm in right now is our gallery, and it's one of the only areas in the house that we could kind of work on because we are waiting on the electrical, we are waiting on asbestos removal, and we're waiting on some other things that rely on contractors to come out and do, and right now it is virtually impossible to find contractors. The next room we have is a dedicated media studio, which kind of just looks like this right now because we got to run new electrical, and honestly we've been so busy with all the other projects and just getting settled into the house that hasn't happened yet, but it will be happening. If everything goes according to plan, electrical should be getting done next week, so fingers crossed. The other room is the basement, and that is the art studio, which, you know, I have a hard time with my art studio not being set up, and my art studio is still in boxes. It has been in boxes because we ran into the leak issue when we were in Pensacola, so it's basically been in boxes for 2 months. The studio looks not very different than it looked when we had packed it in boxes. It's just... It's driving me crazy. It is driving me crazy. The studio being closed down and me not being able to work on art, there's almost like this sense of guilt that comes with that. And I was thinking about it because some of our patrons that follow us are going through similar moves and stuff, and a lot of times their messages, like, they feel bad because they should be working on art. They're used to working on art every day, kind of like myself, and you don't do it, and then you feel guilty, like you're not doing what you need to do in order to be successful and all that stuff. And yes, being prolific with your art and creating art and doing it every day, that's important. Like you want to get in there, but also you don't want it to become a chore or a task that is just like, you know, somebody behind you with like your own mind behind you with the reins, like you gotta be working on art right now, you know, because sometimes you're going through emotional stuff, sometimes you're going through physical stuff, sometimes you're going through just changes in life, sometimes you have a lot on your plate and maybe you just don't have that time to get into the studio. And I think honestly that is okay. I know that in my Rogue Artist book, I talk about creating art every single day, and anything, it could be anything, a sketch or something like that. And honestly, you gotta like stop, pause, and realize that sometimes when we're working on house projects. So a lot of this is creative. I am doing something creative with my day. The thing is, I think that we separate like painting, drawing, sketching, that's art. Anything else I do is not art. But really, in actuality, you could take those creative juices and really get inspired by the fact that you are creative and pour that into anything that it is that you're doing, especially if you have a long list of projects that you got to do, or there are other things that you have to do that maybe don't require you to go to your studio and it's keeping you out of your studio. See if you could bring that creativity and calm that may come to you when you work on art into whatever it is that you're doing. Because honestly, that's going to all really inspire you to get back into the studio and create something else, possibly based on that experience or anything. I think really at the end of the day, like, it's just don't allow yourself to feel guilty because you're not creating art, because life happens. Life just happens and things happen, and sometimes you just can't get into the studio. Take a look at everything that you do as a growing experience. You know, even if you're sketching on a notepad or you are, you know, in here, we put in a track system to hang up the art, and there's an artistry to where all the art is going to go and all that stuff. And so, like, instead of racking my brain feeling guilty because the studio isn't open, which honestly, that was a hurdle that I needed to get over, it's really allowing yourself to be creative in other ways, knowing full well that you're going to get back to your art at some point. I think what happens is that, like, maybe you haven't worked on art for a while and you think like, oh man, like I've put it, like that's the end, like it's never going to happen again. And in actuality, like, of course you're going to get back into your studio, or of course you're going to paint again, or of course you're going to sculpt again, or of course you're going to do whatever it is that you want to do, because it's in us, it's alive, it needs to come out. I think it's that mental game of understanding that no, you're not failing because you're not in the studio. You are succeeding at life, and soon you'll get back into the studio and, you know, create your awesome art. So I went off on a tangent there, but like, honestly, this is just an update video to let you guys know that if everything goes according to plan, we should be back up and running with the videos and stuff by mid-December, I'm hoping. Buying an old house and having to do repairs, and of course, every repair is outside of our comfort zone as far as pricing goes, but that's just how it works sometimes, especially when your studio and your livelihood is kind of shut down a little bit or running at a max of 20%. It's a very uncomfortable place to be, but that's something that I'm actually excited about because I've been really watching myself and documenting the way that I deal with things, the way that I traverse this, and whether or not I have a breakdown, a momentary breakdown, or like just move forward and just like, you know what, we've got this, we could do this. Because when you're doing this as an artist or you're self-employed or anything like that, like, you know, you're not relying on a job. You're basically relying on yourself and your own business to help you get to the next level. And so like how we navigate that and the decisions that we make and the choices we make, all of those choices are so important, and you have to make sure that you're in a headspace where you're not allowing the situation to dictate what it is that you're going to do, that you are making choices that are based on the best outcome for yourself. And so that's all stuff that I've been documenting and just taking notes on and things like that, because, you know, it's all stuff I want to share with you guys. This video is definitely a ramble. I think I'm really excited to be talking to everyone on the main channel because like I've missed this. I've missed doing this. I can't wait to get the media studio up and running to more than 20%. I can't wait to get the art studio running. There are a lot of really cool projects that we have jotted down and written down. However, there is a lot of work that needs to be done. So to answer the question, no, we are definitely not quitting YouTube. We freaking adore you guys. You guys are amazing. A lot of you guys have been supporting us through Patreon. A lot of you guys have been following us on the Adventure channel, us buying this house. I freaking adore you guys. So yeah, no, we're definitely not quitting YouTube. We're just on hiatus while this whirlwind of awesomeness takes place. The problem is when you gotta touch cold things with your hand, especially metal. There it is. It's like a warm glove for the... Honestly, I'm not sure if that's gonna do anything. I can't wait till things are set up so I could give you guys a tour. I freaking adore you guys. You guys are awesome. And yeah, that's it. Adios.